Yeah, welcome to yet another edition of the Norman Kato podcast. This is Norman here. It's been a while, but football is edging back closer, and that's why we are here to talk about the hottest topics, transfer news, and so many other things. Before I go any other further, let me let Oscar greet you guys, and then we can kick off the show.
Yes, hello everyone. It's been a while, but yeah, we are back. Football is back, so yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, as Oscar said, football is back, and of course, there are so many topics to talk about. But
Mm,
basically, today we are going to talk about the transfer window in particular. I
mm,
don't know about you, but for me, this has been the craziest, should I call it that way? Because I've seen so many rumors flying around, like players linked to clubs I never thought they will ever get linked to. So we are here to talk about all that. And of course, let's start with the champions.
mm.
I have to take the honors of calling ourselves champions because we are still the current champions. Let me put that there.
Uh,
Well,
I never.
Oscar,
Eh?
uh, so far, uh, Arsenal have done some stop business. Let me call it that way, because we have
Mm,
signed Bruno Gumares from Newcastle.
mm,
Then Christos Zolis from Club Brugge, plus that keeper from Leeds. I think is
mm,
it's called Ian Mezia. Yeah, I hope I've pronounced it correctly. But for me,
mm,
I feel we are still way short of players, especially in the forward line area. Of course,
mm,
there are so many names that have been linked. Everyone knows we were strongly linked to Vinicius Junior, but
mm,
unfortunately, uh, Vinicius signed a new deal with Real Madrid. We all knew that that deal was going to be difficult, if at all he was to sign for Arsenal. But well, Vinicius signed a new deal with Real Madrid, and of course, Arsenal had to move on to other targets. To be honest, the left wing uh, market has been scarce of quality, honestly. If you're looking
mm.
at City targeting Pedro Neto, that tells you all about this transfer window. But I want you to tell me, what do you think about Arsenal's transfer business so far and the targets? Today, they have been linked to Kwanzaa, your former Liverpool player,
Mm.
uh, now at Bayer Leverkusen. I understand the buyout clause expired, so you guys can't now buy him back at 72 million initially. Well, so far,
Mm.
the latest target for Arsenal, they are looking at replacing someone in Saliba's absence. So,
Mm.
what do you think about our transfer business so far? Do you think we have done enough, or we still need more additions in the squad?
That is a bit of a sorry. That's a bit of a general question, but maybe just a short question is how many players besides the Belgian, how many players have left Arsenal?
It is only Leandro Trossard. He left for Besiktas. Of course,
So
Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus are linked with the move away. Jesus is linked to Napoli. Martinelli has been linked to Galatasaray. As of
mm,
yesterday, there was some rumor about him being included in a deal to get Victor Osimhen. I don't know
mm,
how true that is, but
mm.
it was a rumor. Of course, you expect rumors to be flying around, but we expect Martinelli to leave. If Arsenal are looking at signing a left winger, of course, Martinelli
Mm.
will be looking to leave. So
All
far,
right.
the only outgoing player is Leandro Trossard.
Okay. Um, so when we're to look at this currently, let's just say Gabriel Jesus is leaving. That's the at least the sure one right now that we are sure of.
Mm.
As Nogat.
Yeah, Nogard left for Everton. Actually, I'd forgotten about him.
In my view, this
Mm.
Arsenal team before any of those players left, uh, the Belgian leaving and Solis coming in is like a direct, replacement. You get.
Yeah.
So Nogard leaving, and the Brazilian coming in is
Mm.
like you're doing a direct replacement, right?
Mm. Mm.
So with Martinelli is to leave, and you're talking about Osimhen, that doesn't seem like a direct replacement. It means are you trying to tell me that you're going to have both Gyökeres and Osimhen, and then you also have what's his name? You also
Haaland.
have Havertz. You also have Havertz there. So
Mm.
for if your question is asking me how has Arsenal performed right now, for me, for Arsenal's case, their issue is actually now not just depth. Their issue is how to improve that first team. Because the squad that I saw last season, in
Mm.
my view, it underperformed.
Mm.
The reason I say it underperformed is because there is nothing that improved about Arsenal last season. The only thing is that they maintained who they have been. The points they got were those are their average points. The points they have been getting in the last 3 seasons, just around that area, less than 90, but just above 80. You get
In
that
other
is
words,
exactly
they just had bodies to bring in.
exactly. So
Mm.
my for me, it is a case of if you're bringing direct swaps, are you bringing upgrades? Are you bringing upgrades? Are you bringing players that are because that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that Arsenal team, and so, we have been, especially we rival fans, we have been very harsh on Ateta. When a coach has not yet won a trophy, especially when he's expected to win a big trophy, there is that pressure the coach will have. So I'm expecting that coming into the new season, the pressure has reduced, and he's now there's going to be a bit of room for him to to at least swing and do different things and at least let the team play well. Because truth be told, Arsenal played well only against teams that were seemed better than them and teams that would be playing on the front foot. But when a team came to set up tactically, the way Arsenal, because Arsenal was expected to be a way better team, way better than Arsenal, by than Man U, way better than Liverpool, way better than Chelsea. You get, but every time they faced those teams,
Mm.
Arsenal came out as very cautious, but then won those games. You get, it was a thing of being cautious. Now, when they met teams that, in many people's eyes, seemed better, let's look at, for example, the Champions League final. Arsenal seemed good. You get, because they were playing in their element of defend, defend, defend. You get, and when they pull out an attack, it's like wow, this is. But when you look at those players, player for player, when you look at those players that Arsenal had, those players could play way better than they were playing. So that is why, for me, I feel that yes, Arteta last season, it was his first season, and he got his first major trophy. Now this season, I'm expecting that team to be better. I'm expecting them not just to play defensive. I'm expecting them to play better. Like for example, a good example will be the Mourinho's Chelsea. Okay, Mourinho already came when he was already a champion, already a winner. But that Mourinho's Chelsea would defend. But those guys' football wasn't boring.
Mm.
Those guys' football wasn't boring. Even the other Chelsea coaches that came up, they were not boring. You get, they would play exciting what? Exciting
Football.
football.
Mm.
Yeah. So for me, I think right now as Arsenal stands, Arsenal has the depth, but bringing in the Brazilian, I don't know why I'm forgetting, it's Guimarães. Bringing in Guimarães, that looks like an improvement because you're not selling Rice, you're not selling Zubimendi. So that means their replacements or the people that will be replaced that he will, I mean, if he's done now, that's starting, it looks like an upgrade. You get. So all these other positions. I mean, is Solis an upgrade to what? To Trossard? those are things that you look at.
I
Saka's wing
don't.
is already.
I've not. I before he came to Arsenal, I'd never watched him play, so there's no way I can sit here and say he's an upgrade or not. Uh, I've not watched any preseason game so far, but
Eh,
the comments I've read through
mm,
social media and stuff.
mm. Oh, okay. Oh, this must be a network issue, I think. It's just yes,
Yeah, we're back.
yeah.
Mm.
So you were saying the comments you have seen.
They are saying he's a decent player. I don't know. I'm yet to see.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
mean, I think he
which
will
else?
start tomorrow in the Community Shield, so I'll have to watch him play. Uh,
We shall see. But for me, Arsenal, the depth is there. It's now just improving. Maybe some players who are starters, maybe going on to the bench. Maybe Guimaraes probably will be an upgrade to maybe Zubimendi or maybe Rice, or maybe giving Rice some rest. Though for me, in my view, I really felt that Nogard was really good. Nogard is someone who would have been a six, that would have been like a replacement. You know, that player that you have there, just in case things don't go bad. I
mm,
didn't know that should have been sold, but I mean, if you sold him as a rival fan, I'm okay with that. But I'm 100% okay with Nogard. Liverpool, one team that I know that has six, and I'm still shocked they are not linked to any six. I would 100% take Nogard. I would 100% take Nogard as a six. So, yeah. So,
we are going to touch on Liverpool. Don't worry.
yeah. So,
um,
For me,
well,
I think that yeah, Arsenal is doing what they're doing is okay. The squad
mm,
is not doing badly. The question is, who are you bringing in for Gyökeres? Because when I look at Harvard seems like Harvard and Gyökeres are fighting for the same position. So if you're bringing in Osimhen, the question is, why are you swapping what Martinelli instead?
mm,
Who is the replacement on that wing? If you're talking about Eze being the replacement, Eze is not a winger. Let's not kid ourselves. He might sometimes go to the wing and play off the wing, but he's not a winger. When we're talking about wingers, we're talking about people who spread out the pitch, people who are going to, make the right back or the left back sit back. I mean, take him on a sprint. That's what
mm,
we're talking about. Wingers, you get.
yeah.
Odegaard's area. I mean, Ateta loves Odegaard too much, but yeah, that is the position. That's the area where the 10 position. That's the area where I think Eze would thrive most, especially if he's allowed to roam and be given a free role. So if Arsenal thinking about Osimhen, it's either they are selling one of the two. Either they are taking Havertz out of the striking role and putting him into the midfield, of which he has really been terrible as a midfielder,
Mm,
or they're selling one of them. But you can't tell me that you're going to have three of them. That's like wasting space. You're really wasting. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, especially considering the kind of money that you're going to bring Osimhen at. And Osimhen is one person who knows his value. He's not going to take what peanuts. If you're not paying him the right amount, he's not coming. He would rather stay in Turkey. So, yeah,
mm,
considering all that, you really need to be wise when we're talking about Osimhen. I
mm,
don't think Martinelli will be the right swap. It's either Gyökeres or Havertz. That would be the better option.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, someone in the comments is saying he's from Argentina. Is asking if we saw the eclipse. Man, I didn't see any eclipse here. I
I heard
don't know.
about it. I
Mm.
heard about it, but I didn't really to take it serious.
Well, back on football. I don't know about other fans, but this Kai Havertz guy is becoming an issue in the squad. I mean, he's not good enough to be our striker. He's not good enough to be in the middle field. The
But he delivers once in a while. So what are you saying?
For me, honestly, whenever I see Kai Havertz's name on the team sheet, I
Mm.
just get to know it immediately because I know what to expect from him. He's just not good enough to be
Mm.
our team, honestly.
Mm.
But
Mm.
for some reason, he's a darling. He's the darling for a coach. Ateta wants
Mm.
him so bad,
Mm.
but it's high time we catch him, man. This guy is a liability. He's on big wages. He is not consistent. They always talk about these big moments, big goals. I mean, how about we talk about the big goals he misses in big games? Man,
uh, yeah.
well,
Okay.
for me, I'll never rate him, honestly. I'll never rate him. And
Mm.
there's the way these rival fans like to talk about him as a good player. I mean, you only talk about him when he's not at your club. Just buy him and see how bad he is.
Oh man.
Plus, each
And by the way,
Madueke guy, Noni
by the way,
Madueke. To be
speaking of depth,
honest,
mm,
Max Dowman should be starting ahead of Noni Madueke. I'm not even
uh,
kidding. In
speaking of
fact,
Max Dorman, is he a winger?
yeah, I think he's a winger. Okay, he
He
can
didn't.
play
He didn't.
10,
He didn't
but
seem like a. He didn't seem like a winger to me. The few times I've watched him, he seems like an edgy kind of player. He doesn't. He's a player who can play on the wings, but he's not a winger because it's
yeah,
when
he lacks the speed.
he lacks the speed, which is and really not. You see, if you lack the speed, you better be able to put a player on the ground. Dribble the guy, leave him on the floor, then you can move at your pace. But if you're really not, I feel that being a young lad, let Ateta has enough players around to give him a very good example is Eric Konza. Eric
Mm,
Konza, that guy when he was at Liverpool, he started as a teenager. And Liverpool had enough depth in their amongst their centre backs, and they would give him those few minutes to come on, to grow, come on and grow. Give him minutes once in a while. Give him a full game. Give him a few minutes. Let him grow. Let him grow. You get? I don't think it's a good idea to push him unless it is really very urgent. Now, a situation like Liverpool is in with this Rio guy.
but
Liverpool is in a place where they have
Oscar,
no option.
let me ask you. Hmm?
Mm,
I
mm,
was actually having this discussion with one of my friends. Why is
mm,
it that in England we are so
mm,
afraid of giving these young lads a chance? In Spain, in Italy, Bundesliga, they give these guys chances to shine. Yamal
mm,
is playing at Barcelona. How old is
mm.
he? And he's
That's
shining.
true. That's true.
I mean,
That's
if you're
true.
good enough, you're old enough. Max Tauman is good enough to start ahead of Noni Madueke. No one can tell me different. Noni Madueke is bad. He's not good enough. We were scammed by Chelsea. We have to live by that.
But how many
But
times are you going to scam? Because it's not the first time. It's not the first time. So I don't
think
understand when you
I think after some years, we will
say.
have to do some investigations on Mikel about.
Ah man.
The
Yeah,
latest
well,
rumor was Pedro Neto, and for Christ's sake, I don't want him anywhere near Arsenal. Honestly, I don't.
as a what? He's coming in for who? Because he seems to be playing. He doesn't seem to be a left winger. Is he a left winger? He seems to
Yeah,
be a right
sometimes
winger.
Chelsea play him there, and shamelessly they're asking for 70 million for Pedro Neto. Are you kidding me?
I mean, if Gordon is 80 million, why not? Everyone can be shameless with what they drop.
Uh,
With this market, what I realize with this market, we shouldn't even be shaming the players and how we look at them. It is just comes down to how your agent can negotiate these things. Because
mm,
I mean, if you can get, I mean, I was shocked. Unless Baka has a payment plan which is like stretched out for like 6 years,
mm.
but it just seems absurd to even talk of 80 million. I mean, 50 would have been a stretch, but
For me,
I mean, we're
for
talking
me,
about 70,
till now, I
80
don't
million.
understand
For,
how Barcelona manages to afford its transfers. I mean, they are so called broke, but they are signing players. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they end up signing guys, man. I mean, they're
Yes,
about to sign Rodri.
exactly.
Manchester City has already rejected two bids from them, and they're expected to go back with a third bid. So, why
But
is it that
have they given them a
so-called
price?
club?
Have they been given a price?
Sorry?
Or are they given a price?
Yes, Manchester City expects 80M. Less
And
than
they
that,
are,
they're willing to sell.
and why is it that they are going with 55? I mean, some that's crazy. The last bid I had was about 55.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what. Oh, at least bring something nearby. Anyway, they know better. But
We know better as you're
Rodri for
saying.
8 a.m. Rodri for 8 a.m.
Mhm.
is not staggering. That is around. That's around the price that you would expect a player like Rodri to go for. You
Yeah, I
get?
think that's a good price. Yeah.
Yes. So
I
yeah,
would have
that's
loved him at Real
yeah.
Madrid, honestly.
Mm.
He would have
Well,
settled that field. Up
real,
to
real,
now, don't have a proper midfield anchor, man. These guys, Chouameni, Valverde, none of them can dictate in the middle. None of them. Someone
I believe
really.
it. I believe he chose Barcelona also because of their style, because he seems to thrive so much in that style, that Spanish
Mhm.
style. So,
Yeah.
oh my God, someone is telling me Oscar, get ready to cry this season.
What team does he support?
No, it's well. It's well. I know, and to be honest, yes, you're right. I'm actually preparing myself not to cry physically, but to cry inwards. I don't know how it will be. It's a season of uncertainty, but I'm really hoping that we shall come out. We shall come out in a good way. I really hope so.
William.
Is this the William I know?
I think so. I think
Oh
so.
my God.
Wait,
This is
Oscar.
he supports
What
Arsenal.
do I think that Liverpool have a decent season? Yet so many fans are thinking that they will struggle.
Well, this decent season does what? It varies because Liverpool.
Mm.
How many points did Liverpool finish below Man U?
Points.
Yeah,
I'm not certain.
they were not more than 10.
Mm, mm.
They were not more than 10. And Man U is considered to have had a decent season. So you see how these things vary. Liverpool was terrible. You get Liverpool was really terrible, but Arsenal, I mean Man U, seemed to have a decent season. They are considered to have had a decent season. But so decent season varies. Liverpool might
By their standards, it was decent.
well, yeah. So with Liverpool having a decent season this season, number one, it starts with qualifying for Champions League. Then we shall
Mm.
look at probably style of play. I think those are the main things. Trophies is not something that someone should really hold their breath on.
I expect them to challenge. Come on.
No, no. If I'm being honest, I don't think so.
Oscar,
I
you
don't
can't
think
have
so.
kind of Ektike and Isak and you don't expect to challenge. Come on, man.
No, it's not about the players. It's not about the players. It is about the style the coach is trying to implement. Because the style seems to be working for only one half. These players seem to be unfit. They seem to be running empty. They seem to be running on fumes, on adrenaline in the second half. So
Is
with
it
that
true,
said,
Oscar?
yeah.
Is it true that he said that your players can't compete for 90 minutes?
It's something I saw on social media, but I don't know if he actually said it. But from what we can see, we can judge for ourselves with the at least the little football that we know. We can judge for ourselves that you know what there seems to be something not right with these players because for the first half they seem to be the job. They seem to be running. They seem to be active. But when it comes to second half, it's like they are running on fumes. So it's something that, or which is it's not an issue you see with other teams. Other teams seem to be more settled, you get. So for me, it's not about the players that are there. The players that are there are actually good. We can even say that they are really players who can what challenge the squad, you get. But the thing
Mm.
is that because even last season, those players that were there were not bad. Those was almost the same players that were won the league. But for some reason, a few tweaks from the coach and some dressing room things, the whole thing fell apart. You get. So
Mm.
the question is, how are those players going to work? Because previously, before Isaac, you had players like Jota, you had other players who would do what? Who would actually start the press from up, meaning that teams would struggle to actually play out against Liverpool. So, I mean, uh, the style of play is going to say a lot. So let's just wait and see. I am not really expecting a trophy, but I'll be glad with whatever if it comes through. So for me,
Why are
my
you
my
so harsh on your team, man?
no, like I said, there is a new coach. You get there's a new coach, and unlike Slot, who inherited a Ferrari, he's inheriting a car that he's going to construct it as it's moving. This car is unfinished. This car, you're not sure of how many kilometers it can go. The speedometer is not yet there. You get. You're not sure of how much luggage it can carry. You get. This is the kind of car that he has inherited. Unlike Slot, who inherited already a well-built team. You get. Those
Yeah.
are two different situations. The other guy inherited a really well-built team. This one is inheriting a team that is in a bit of disarray. He's inheriting a team that is coming from a struggle. While
Mm.
Slot inherited a team that challenged for the trophy up to about the third quarter of the league, and then dropped off, and then Arsenal took over. I mean, Arsenal continued with Man City, and then Man City won. You get. That's the kind of team that what Slot inherited. While this one is inheriting a team that has been struggling, so they are a bit different. So that's why I'm saying
Okay.
that from my view,
What do you think? Even when you send Bakola, you think you still won't compete?
I actually don't rate Bakola.
I don't rate him highly, but he's
Mm.
decent.
Yes, he is. And as a winger, I would be glad to have him
And
because
he's
I
yeah.
be,
I mean,
he seems
that's room
direct.
for improvement.
He seems direct, and I believe in a coach like Ariola to actually improve a player. So,
Mm.
yeah, that's the only plus that I see about him. My issue is that if he's building his team on intensity and pressing and all that, these players can they really press? Because Isak is going to be our striker. That one, if people do not know, Isak is going to be our striker. Is he willing to adapt to actually at least try to press? If he's not going to at least press that much, probably is he going to give us Salah-like numbers? Because Salah never used to press that much, but he had people around him that could press. Then another situation is I mean, people can lie to themselves all they want, but we don't have a six. However good the defense is, the cover is not there. That sufficient cover is not there. I'm really surprised that they're actually not looking in that area. So, with all those uncertainties, yes, I
Mm.
believe the squad is good. Yes, I'll not be surprised if they actually challenge. But it is a 50-50 thing. Probably I can say 40-60. So for me, my targets for Liverpool this season are just strictly going to finish in the Champions League spots and play decent football. Play football that adapts to the coach's style, whereby we can see what the coach is doing. Not the situation of Slot whereby we are taking an entire season and we don't know exactly what he's doing. You're not sure of what the guy is doing. No, no, no.
So how many guys so far have you signed? You've signed Yaket and who else?
Actually, there are two.
This young
There's
kid, the winger.
yeah.
I forget his name.
I don't know Ndukwe. Is Ndukwe a defender or a?
I don't know. There's some kid I saw in one of your games recently. It's,
Then there is Munoz.
the Moya Munoz, yeah.
Munoz is a midfielder. He
He's
seems to
going
be an
that.
eight. So for me, by the way, that's the thing about Liverpool. All these midfielders that we have Ryan, we have McAllister, we have Shoboslai. You see, all those are players who seem to be the same. None of them is actually a guy who for sitting, and none of them. And we are talking about a style of play whereby it's not Barcelona whereby you will not have the ball or you will have the ball all the time. It's a style of
Mm.
play where the opponent will also have the ball. and the opponent will not have opportunities. So are you able to protect the what? The back line. So for me, that is
Mm.
my challenge. If you can get someone who can protect that back line, this Liverpool team is actually really good. It is good enough. That is for me. That has been my issue for the last 3 seasons, ever since Fabinho left, even for 4, 5 seasons. Liverpool has no six.
So who will be Weigl partner in defense?
I'm still unsure, but I think the fact that they brought Araujo, I'm thinking he's going to start with Araujo for
Araujo
the beginning. Yeah, I think he's going to start
is
with
that
him
the back role? Are you serious?
just for experience. But I think as time goes on, he's going to slot in and that is the thing. And that is the thing, by the way, about this Ariola guy. I'm really hoping, because I don't see any other fan base that can actually be patient and
Mm.
allow him to. I don't think Manu can be that patient. I don't think all these other fan bases of the so-called big teams can't be that patient. The Liverpool fan base, I believe, can be patient and allow him actually to try out these young lads and actually let these young guys play. So for me, with that, I actually think he should take advantage of that, and probably even Van Dijk at some point should even go on bench if actually these young guys actually do what, show that they can actually play better. So for me, that's how I see it.
Man, it seems he has a tricky job to do there.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns when it comes to this Liverpool team. That's why I was saying that he's going to drive a car that he's actually constructing as he's moving. Unlike Slot, who inherited a Ferrari and reduced it into a premium. So yeah, sorry, but that is actually what happened. Yes,
That is a
we can't.
penalty joining coach Sebo. Respect.
I mean, we can never take away the fact that he won a trophy, but you see, he discredited himself totally when he decided to play his own style and ruined the entire thing.
Mm.
He totally discredited himself totally.
Well, this transfer window has really been crazy. There are
Mm,
deals that happened that I've never thought of. Now, for
mm,
example, that Araujo moved to Liverpool, I never expected it. It
me
was out
too.
of the boom.
Yeah.
He went to Liverpool, but he's one player I've watched for so many years,
Mm,
and very, very. Uh, he makes a lot of mistakes. He has a lot of
yeah.
mistakes in the game. So I don't know how he's going to cope up with the Premier League pressure. I really don't know. But Ronald
Mm,
Araujo, Barcelona, he has costed them so many games, crucial games actually in
mm,
Champions League. So, and you know how Premier League is; they don't give you time to settle.
mm,
So he's in for some good tests at Liverpool.
mm.
Well, speaking of weird transfer rumors, at some point, Arsenal were linked to Cristiano Romero from Spurs, and that is one deal I wanted to happen. Not because I rate Cristiano Romero, but because I wanted to troll Spurs. But Spurs made it clear they can't sell at Arsenal, even though Cristiano Romero was actually willing to join Arsenal. It is so
But
bizarre.
but but you
But
talk about.
unfortunately, he has gone to Atletico Madrid. Uh, I think
First,
he
hold
had it
on.
yesterday.
But hold on.
Mm.
You were talking about Araujo being costing the team. Are you sure you are willing to have Romero, that guy who is also mistake prone in pressure situations? Because that guy would
Hey,
have cost
Oscar,
you.
I say I just wanted that deal to happen, not because I rate him, but because
Hey.
I hate Spurs. You get it?
Okay. I
Yeah.
understand.
It will be funny to take their out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
I
anyway,
get the point.
they were never selling him to us, and
Mm,
he's joining Atletico Madrid anyway. And
mm,
then that Vinicius link to Arsenal, it was also out of the blue and actually made so many news. Uh, Pedro Neto to Manchester City, that is one link I also found bizarre. And then there is which other link? Which other link that really surprised me? Which other link? Um, okay, Enzo Fernandez to Man City has been going on for some time now. I'm looking forward to see if that deal is going to go through today, because apparently Chelsea had put a
The
timeline,
timeline.
5 p.m. UK time, that beyond that they won't. Well, I the transfer window is very mad. I don't know. I don't know. But that
Uh,
deal will only happen. That's if Rodri moves to Barcelona and they are looking
mm,
for a replacement. But I mean, they have already signed that younger Moroccan guy from Lille. I
yeah, yeah.
and that you know the funny thing about this boy, so many guys were excited to watch him at World Cup, and they were saying, he's good, blah blah blah. But I've seen Matteo Gondozi play like that before, and where is he now?
Uh,
Eh? You know, people get excited so much. Now he's here in the Premier League.
mm.
Let's see if he'll be able to post games, because
You know,
the Premier League is the ultimate test for players. How do you
for,
cope with the intensity, the aggression, everything?
for me, tournaments have never really been my thing. To shop for players. I think I've always felt that when you want to shop a player, look at the player before the tournament, and if the player performs well during the tournament, then you can still go for the player. But so I mean, players who are poached from the tournaments, man, they rarely really pan out to really be that good, because tournament you're playing about 7 games. I think in total, or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of easy to put up a run, and you're playing with different players. But I really wish him the best. Being someone who is young, that guy he really played well. I mean, he really played so well. I loved how he was playing.
Mm.
He really played, though I feel like they gave France too much respect. I think if they had gone with the attitude that they had in 2022, I think it would have been different. This time they went so tactical, trying to probably see off the game up to some point, and maybe punch on a few mistakes. I think that's one of the things that cost them against France, because I think I've always told people that France team, their vulnerability is in their defense.
Mm.
That's what I've always felt about that France team. People will talk about the number one culprit that I know is a loophole, Upamecano. That is that guy. As if you can actually leech onto that guy and
Mm.
utilize his. I mean, you're going to get chances. You'll get chances. So yeah, the Moroccan played well throughout the World Cup. Let's just see. I believe they will give him chance. They will give him chance to grow,
Mm.
because I know there's Nico Gonzalez. There's still the guy from Henderson. Is it called Anderson from
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest? So let's see how it goes. I don't know. Then Chucky
Mm.
can still play. Yeah, but me, I'm looking at two-way players. I'm looking at two-way players. That
Well,
that guy, I believe, will play.
still on Manchester City. Tian Reinders has gone to Saudi Arabia, and
How old is he?
he's only 20.
Let me check here. Yeah,
He's only
he's what?
28. It is just sad that 2 years ago, Reinders was voted as MVP in that title-winning season for AC Milan, and 2 years later, he's going to Saudi Arabia. It is very unfortunate. I I expected him to thrive at Manchester City, but unfortunately, he wasn't really given enough chance for him to.
But you see, you look at these players. These players look at. They also look at football and see that this is actually a job. This is work. So Saudi Arabia has created this environment for people to actually be able to get early retirement.
Because he had an offer from Nottingham Forest actually
Yeah.
before he left.
So yeah. So you see these are players who they are not playing because they want to achieve. Anyone who goes to Saudi Arabia at the age of 20 anything, 29, 28, it is about now. Let me summarize my career. It's not about achieving anything, because what are you going to achieve in Saudi Arabia? When you see, like, for example, now Ronaldo is now just looking for how many goals now. Can I really make the 1,000 mark? Can I reach the 1,000 mark?
Mm.
So, yeah. So, if you can reach it, well and good. So when you was going to Saudi Arabia, these are people who are now going to earn a what? A retirement package. And I can't blame them because look at this is work. This is work, man. After 40, I mean, you're now retired and all that. You need to at least have some investments and maintain the same lifestyle because it
People,
is not easy.
people want to avoid sitting on podcasts and TV doing panditry work.
Um, if you're to sit on podcast, if you sit on your, do it for fun. Don't do it for an end start looking for views. There are people
Don't
who
be
do
a
it for
Gary
fun.
Van Karaga.
Uh-huh. People who probably their careers, like the person didn't really make that much money, and I mean the person is living now their lifestyle. You get, if you're
Yeah.
used to a week, you're racking in 200,000 per week, 300,000 per week. You're used to that lifestyle, and then you're now 29, you're 28, and then
Mm.
the next team you're going to is going to pay you like 100. Then Saudi Arabia is telling you we are giving you 500 or 400.
Mm.
Why would you? I mean, come on. Why would you still stay there? Why would you stay there? Come on. You definitely go do your 5 years, and then use the money, invest the money, do things of that kind, and you know the
Well,
career end.
at the end of the day, as you said, the goal is the bag. So you can't really
Exactly.
blame him. Well, for football's reasons, for a player like him, you would expect him at least to have uh, some good spell in the league. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. He came out. He came with a lot of expectations. I think Manchester.
Mm,
I remember that his first game against Wolverhampton. He was the man of the match, and Manchester City got excited. Then after
mm,
that, he went off the scene, and football is funny sometimes. But still, on Manchester City, uh, well, I don't know. Are we doing early predictions? Because speaking about the team's expectations, next week we have to preview the whole season. Anyway,
uh,
just do a small assessment. So far,
mm,
the outgoings, they have already lost Bernardo Silva to Real Madrid. They
mm,
have John Stones. I think he signed for Inter Milan. Uh,
mm,
who else has left? Then Reinders has left for Saudi Arabia. Al Qadassia. Uh,
mm.
which other players left? Which other player? Those are the three I can talk about. And of course,
Mm.
Pep Guardiola also left, so they have a new coach, and that is Enzo
Yes,
Mar. Do
yes. I'm
you
trying to look at their transfers
expect
here.
Hmm? Sorry?
I'm trying to look at their transfers here.
So far, they have signed that Moroccan youngster, Baudi, and
Mm,
who else have they signed? Elliot Anderson, of course, from Nottingham Forest, and who else? And I think Savinho will be also joining Tottenham very soon before the transfer market closes. So, how do you expect them to perform this coming season?
mm. So they also signed a new keeper. Uh, they signed also a new keeper. They
Is
brought
it
they brought
is
in
it Will something like that?
Rulli. They brought in Rulli
Really?
from Marseille.
Mm.
Yeah, they brought in Rulli from Marseille. For me, this Man City, just like the past two seasons,
Mm.
the fear factor for Man City was Pep.
True.
But even without Pep, the team, the way the team was, if we had to go 3 years back, even
Mm.
when you take out Pep, the squad still looked scary. But when we look at the Man City right now, especially with what we saw in the last season and the season when Liverpool won the league, if you take out Pep, that squad is not scary.
Mm.
So that means that they are also in a state of unknowns. They may not be in a worse situation than Liverpool. They are in a better situation, but they are also in a state of unknowns, just like Liverpool.
And also
They are,
that possibility of losing Rodri. I mean, if he goes,
Yes.
That would be
It's
a
also
big
now the
miss.
unknown. That means the unknowns become so many. You get? That
Mm.
means the unknowns become so many.
The
You
young man is
get?
training you today.
The young man did go to school. He's in holiday. Okay. So yeah, he's yeah. So for me, Man City is still in that state of unknown. So I would say I wouldn't expect them to actually win the trophy, but I would not be surprised if they win. The team
Mm.
that I believe that is going to, I believe Arsenal has everything it needs to actually retain the trophy. But if I'm to speak as a rival fan, I'm
Mm.
hoping that Arteta hasn't changed. I'm hoping that he hasn't learned anything.
Mm.
Because even however much he buys every player, as long as he has not learned anything, he is going to lose this trophy. He's going to lose it.
Mm.
So, but if he has learned something, I expect him to walk this trophy just like Liverpool did
Yeah.
1 year ago. I expect him to just walk this trophy from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I expect him to do that because he has the squad. He can he has the team to last the entire season. So that's what I would expect. So, but if I'm to talk as a rival fan, I am hoping that he hasn't learned anything. But Man City, I don't expect them to win this trophy. I expect them actually to be in a state of transition. This is
Mm.
now. I mean, for Pep, we were never sure. He seemed to be a guy who could build a squad in one one or two transfer windows. But right now, I guarantee you, they are going to be it's going to be a real transition. It's going to be
Mm.
a real transition. And if they end up winning the trophy, the one team that will actually be hurt the most will be Arsenal. Because there is no reason why this Man City team should actually take Arsenal to the cleaners. There is no
Well,
reason why.
I
There is
don't.
no reason.
Me personally, I
Yeah.
don't to retain the title. I don't. I
I
know
don't,
how
you don't want?
I know how difficult it is to win the league. Now, let
Yes.
alone defending it, it is very difficult. I expect us to challenge, but
Mm.
winning back, it will be nice, but I
Mm.
don't expect it to happen anyway.
Okay, let's
Well,
let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way.
mm,
Man City, who is the closest challenger that you would see? You see right now.
of course it has to be City, and
Okay, if it is City.
with one main factor, they have the best striker in the league. So,
All right. Let's put City aside. Now let's
mm,
look at the other teams. Chelsea is still is going to just you're not sure about Chelsea. They also have a new coach. He's
mm.
bringing in new ideas. He's going to bring in new ideas. Liverpool, we have already spoken about Liverpool. We don't need to linger around there. Man United.
Well, some
Man
fans
United.
say
Yeah.
this is the year they challenge again. I don't
I mean,
know.
I wouldn't be shocked if they challenge the top four and probably even look like they are challenging for what for the trophy, but they're also in a state of unknown because the coach is fresh, coach is new, sort of new. You
Mm,
get he's bringing in new players, but the only thing about Manu is they don't need to bring in a lot of new players, especially bringing in new players who are going to start. If they are bringing in players who are going to help with squad depth, it will actually be a very good advantage because I believe that's one of the reasons why Arsenal actually won the league. As much as Arsenal didn't improve, Arsenal maintained what
okay.
they already had and they just had people to help.
For me, this is what I have to say about Manchester United.
Mm.
As long as they still have um that set of players that finished 15th uh 2 seasons ago, I don't
Mm.
expect them to do anything. You have Luke Shaw starting from,
Hey,
you are doomed. I'm telling you, you are.
I believe he's going to start. I believe he's going to start as long as he's fit.
Mm.
As long as he doesn't have an injury, I believe he's going to start.
Yes, more Arsenal reacts is saying smash the likes. Yes, guys, if you're watching, please smash the like button. It does a lot for
Yeah.
us. And another
Mhm.
is sometimes our captain is like an old man talking about Kai is also another good for nothing player. Well, it seems I'm not the only person that hates Kai Havertz. Well, I don't hate the guy, I just don't rate him. Let me make
Mm.
myself clear. Well, moving on to Chelsea, Oscar.
Yeah,
They have a new coach, and that is Xabi Alonso.
yeah,
And of course, they have signed Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. They
yeah.
have also signed, forgetting the names. There's some left back. I've forgotten the name. They signed him from
They signed La Croix. They signed.
yeah, they signed him from Crystal Palace. Um, though they haven't sold so many players. Of course, I saw yesterday, but they still might have joined Napoli. I'm not sure. They are looking to sell
mm,
Mikalik on loan. There are so many guys they are expected to send out. But as you know, market it is very hard to sell players, especially if they are on high wages. I don't know.
mm.
What do you expect from Chelsea this season?
Um, I expect Chelsea to remain as Chelsea. That is my expectation. They look
Mm,
like they are serious, but they just end up, probably winning a cup or something at best, but not necessarily doing anything. I'm expecting this to be a transition season because I actually rate Jabi Alonso, especially when he's allowed to actually play. Marco Carrera left, Chaloba left, Badiashile as well left, Jorgensen left, Tyrick George has
mm,
also been sold, Garnacho has gone to Aston Villa. So the anticipated sales are Nicholas Jackson, Enzo, Nkunku. Oh, Nkunku is still in. Oh my God, Delap, Gusto. I
yeah.
mean, come on. So they
Nkunku,
are.
AC Milan yesterday just informed him that he won't be included in their squad for training sessions, so he has to look for a move. That is
Chelsea.
unfortunate.
Chelsea right now sort of seems like a graveyard for very many players. You really
Mm,
have to work hard to stay up, up there. Because I really don't think that people like Delap and what would have really performed that badly if they had gone to other teams. Nkunku, I mean, strikers have been dying from one. Nkunku still has hope because I can see Morata also went to back to Spain and rebuilt himself. Nkunku can also go back to France and
but
rebuild himself.
what's Nkunku's best position? Is he a striker? Is he a 10? Is he a winger? I really don't know. Where does he play exactly?
I honestly also don't know. I honestly don't. The one thing I know is not a striker.
Mm.
That's the one
But
thing I know.
2 seasons ago, he was shining in Bundesliga with Leipzig, scoring
But he
some.
didn't. He seemed to be playing like a Firmino role. He can move. He's not necessarily still in one place. He was
Mm.
moving. Yeah, he wasn't in one place. So I don't think he's a striker, but he's probably a false nine, something like that.
Well, yesterday I was scrolling through X and someone was saying Chelsea will need like 2 buses for their match day squad.
For them.
For their match day squad, they have so many players, man. They need to. It's
Oh
very,
my God.
but anyway, they have been doing well in pre-season. Last time I saw they beat AC Milan 3-0.
Mm.
So they are anticipating to have a good season under Xabi Alonso with his 3-4-3
I
system.
mean, he has a lot of work to do. That's the one thing I know. He has a lot of work to do.
I'm going to see if he's really going to make that back three system work. Because I mean, the last person that used it and won the league was Antonio Conte. Uh,
Mm.
and Slot tried it at Liverpool, and we all know how it turned out.
I'm still wondering if there's anything Slot didn't try.
And with Chelsea, man, they have so many suspect defenders. Honestly, their defense is bad. I don't even think that Aqua guy is going to improve them. Honestly, I watched him at World Cup when Saliba got in, and he became a liability for France. So I am not expecting him to to improve them in any way. And
Mm.
all know how Tosin is not good enough. This young boy Achepong not good enough. Rhys James can't stay fit. They have lost their best defender Marco Correa to Real Madrid. I don't know how this new left back plays. So
Who is
Zabi
the new
Alonso
left back? Who is the new left back?
is from Real Vallecano, I think. I don't
But
know.
why are they selling? Why are they selling? I can understand you selling one player, but you sell one player, and even sell the backup, and then you only bring in one player. I mean, I don't understand that.
They have Gerard Hato. He can still play there. But we are all speaking about young players, man. So this is the same cycle these clubs go through. So
My apologies.
at some
My
point,
apologies.
expect them to compete, play good football, but still, if you have fringe players, man, you will go back to the same old problems. If you don't sign proper, experienced players. So for Chelsea under Alonso, I'm really interested to see how they are going to perform.
But but for me, I take it back to the ownership of the team
Mm,
because I look at. I'm sorry to say this. I know this platform can be is watched internationally, but
mm,
um, Americans are just learning about football.
mm,
I know when we're talking about business as business, that is something that they are very good at. So when they come to own these English teams, they are coming from a point of business. And when you look at how Chelsea is run as a business, man, they are doing so well. They are doing so well as a business. They are making very good revenue. The turnover is very good. But the problem with that is that they actually also, when it comes to football, they are actually not doing a good thing because the talents are there. The talents are there. They are bringing in players who are like they have potential, but
mm,
they're bringing them at very high prices. And then the expectation is that they improve them and then sell them.
mm.
Of which I don't think they're actually really improving these players because I mean, how you sell Madueke for such money? How you sell Havertz for that amount of money?
Man,
I mean, which other players? Because those guys are
I
making
do
crazy
feel
profit.
pain when you mention those two names. I feel a lot of
They
pain.
are really getting paid. They are really getting paid. They are really selling their players at really very good prices. So my assumption is that if someone like a person like this guy who came from Aston Villa also performs well, and at
Right.
some point maybe yeah maybe a Real Madrid comes to call. I mean, he's going to be sold 100 plus. You get.
Mm,
So as a business, they are doing well, but I mean, if they are to actually compete for the EPL itself, it's going to take the owners being intentional about actually bringing in because that Chelsea team, there are only two areas that, in my view, okay, let's say three areas.
yeah.
Besides, we're talking about experience because that defense has very talented defenders, but they lack leadership. That
Mm,
midfield, you see that when they bring in people like the Hendersons and all that, that is for leadership. You get.
yeah.
For me, I understood those moves 100%. Now, when we're talking about the striking line, those are young lads that can never get you 50, they can never get you 20 goals. But when you're intentional about wanting to win the Premier League, that's when you go for an Osimhen. You see that?
They
You go
signed
for an
Daniel Beck.
Yes, now they are bringing Danny Welbeck. The hope is probably, I believe, he's bringing in Welbeck for to settle the team. To settle the team. The one area I'm surprised they have actually not looked at is the goalkeeper area. For me,
Alonso said Sanchez is good enough to start for him.
he's going to get a rude awakening. Yeah, he's going to really get a rude awakening. I know
Mm,
the fellow Spanish. It's understandable. When someone is a fellow countryman, you talk nicely about them. You try as much as possible to give them very many chances. It is natural for all of us. If it is your family member, if it is your continent mate, if it is your tribe mate, country mate, it is normal. It's understandable, but he's going to get a rude awakening. He's going to get a rude awakening. I mean, we who have watched. Why are you laughing? We who have watched the man, we know. So for me, I thought if they couldn't address all the deficiencies of the team, they
Mm,
should have at least tried to what address some, of which I believe he has tried with the defense. Probably he
yeah.
feels like Lacroix will be a good person to play in his system. That 3-5, I believe that also Reva kind of guy. I believe that's the reason why he's bringing in such players. So he
Mm.
believes that they can actually be able to play in those roles. Like you see midfield, and then also striking him. It's just the goalkeeping area that, I mean, if he thinks that the guy is sufficient, no problem. But for me, I feel he's going to get a rude awakening. He's going
Okay.
to clear his doubts very soon.
Moving on to Tottenham. They have
Mm.
signed Andrea Tonali, Matthias Fernandes. Um, they are looking at signing Savinho from Manchester City. Um, Surprisingly, they are losing Jed Spence. He's going to Inter Milan. And
He's already an Inter Milan player, in my view.
Cuti Romero, who had his medical yesterday with Atletico Madrid. Well, they
Mm.
signed Mickey Van der Ven on a new deal, and they'll be bringing back players like James Madison, Koseski, Mamad Kudus. Well, where do you expect Tottenham to
Before I
finish
talk about
next season after back-to-back 17th finishes?
before I talk about what position they will finish,
Mm,
Sandro Tonali,
mm.
that was real shrewd business. How all these other teams allowed him to go to a team that was relegation threatened? I don't understand. Is it that he just turned down those other teams, or
No,
what happened there?
Actually, he was willing to join Arsenal before he joined Spurs, but Spurs paid better, and Arsenal
Oh,
were
he
very
was
happy
still on, he
with
was
it.
still on contract. He was still on contract with Newcastle.
So Spurs
Ah,
basically came with a better offer, and yeah,
mm,
they are
okay,
big men. Of course, he had to
okay.
go for Spurs.
I understand. I now understand. I understand that. It's understandable. So I expect them to perform better. I
Mm.
expect them to. Were they in Champions League positions? Are they playing in Europe?
Man, they finished 17th. Come on, are you trolling?
No, I'm asking because I'm assuming maybe they won some Carabao, or maybe
We
they.
Man,
Eh,
when was the last time Tottenham won something? They last won the Europa League.
well, it was Manu's fault. Manu brought them to the table of cup winners, so
Exactly.
it was Manu's fault. Anyway, so I expect them to perform well. I think the biggest challenge will be competing on all fronts.
Mm.
Competing on all fronts will be the biggest challenge. Having also a new coach, that coach is not well proven at the big stage.
Deserby.
He's not well proven on the big stage. So
Mm.
let's just wait and see how he will handle that situation. He doesn't seem to handle pressure well. He seems to be very erratic. Because I saw him in Marseille when he thought that he really had PSG on the ropes and things turned around. He seemed to
Mm.
lose it. He seemed to lose it. So
What should be their
yeah,
expectations this season? Europe
top 10.
top 10. I
Yeah,
mean,
Europe
well,
conference or Europa.
I feel they have the decent enough first team to compete for
Yes.
Europa League places.
You see, the issue here is not first team because no. If we are to talk about first team play teams having a very good first team, very
Mm.
many teams would have actually won the league or something like that, or been performing well. The issue is when push comes to shove. Remember, you're playing cups. You're playing the league.
They are going to be competing in three trophies: Premier League, Carabao, and FA Cup.
Okay, that even helps. That helps their situation because their squad is thin.
Mm.
Their squad is thin. So I think the coach should try as much as possible to balance the team, and give these other trophies, give these other French players a chance to prove themselves, to get play game time, and so that they can be helpful to the team in the long run. Because I believe injuries will kick in, so those players should be ready to step in when things happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think European places. I would give them European places. I expect them to finish in the European places.
Well, Jauhara saying I'm a proud Ghana. Rio, Rio, is it Rio? Andy 88, Aston Villa's Brian Majo, who scored in this year's Super Cup, is 6'4" at 17 years old. Well, as I always say, I don't really buy into hypes because I've seen so many teenagers before, seen so many wonder kids before, so it is normal for people really to get excited about these young prospects. I understand he's getting so many compliments from different uh, medias and teammates, but we are waiting to see how he's going to really perform in the long run. I hear he's decent. Let's see. Raymond Kagumba, hi, proud Ghana. How are you, Aman?
Why are all Gunners coming out now? What's going on? eh?
Maybe because he's
Arsenal fans were now they are all coming out.
hi, proud Ghana. How are you, Aman? Derek should make a move for 30 and 35 million add-ons for Ahmad Dedik doing his medical at Edinburgh on his way for his medical at Newcastle. Now, yes, from well, I didn't understand that message. Sorry. He's also saying London is blue, so I assume he's a Chelsea fan anyway. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also hit the like button. It means a lot for us. Well, Oscar, away
Hmm.
from Tottenham, I mean, we have touched on Arsenal, Manchester City.
You should read that last comment.
Well, he's trolling me here. He's saying Vinny Jr. played with the. Well, he did play with our emotions. We never expected him to be an easy deal, you know.
My
Man can
friend.
dream. A man can dream, Oscar, not so.
Knowing Arsenal fans, you do know that they actually thought that was something that was going to come out to happen.
Well,
Like they were so excited.
a few. I mean, if David Ornstein man reports that your team talk, you will have to raise your hopes. But well, um, unfortunately, that the hopes just vanished in thin air. But
Hmm.
it is okay. It was good when it lasted.
Oh my
uh,
God.
well, moving on to big Manchester United. They signed
Hmm.
Tres Santos from Chelsea after losing Casemiro. He went to join Inter Miami. They also signed Yuri Tillemans from Aston Villa. Actually, they were very active early on in the market, and then they went side. I
I
think
believe that's good
uh,
stuff.
for them, or they are looking to sign more players. Michael Carrick was saying yesterday they are exploring more deals. I don't know their targets honestly, but of course they still have their star players around. Bruno Fernandes, Mbeumo, Sesko, Acuna. They are all still at the club. So do you think the additions of Yuri Tillemans and Andre Santos, do you feel these two can take United to the next level?
Next level, depending on what next level we are talking about, but I believe that it is shrewd business.
Challenging, challenging.
Listen to
Some
me.
of their fans
Listen
are
to me.
expecting United to come back and challenge for the Premier League title. I mean, they were
Okay.
saying Arsenal were the worst champions to win the EPL, so they are not good enough to retain that title, so they have a chance. Pep Guardiola is out of the picture. Liverpool is also still figuring out things. Chelsea is Chelsea, so we have a chance.
we always say a win is a, we always say a win is a win. This business of saying there, please let's leave that for that is social media troll banter what. But a win is a win.
Yeah.
I don't care how you won the what. The fact is that history will to say they won the what the league. So with that said, for me, I believe Andre Santos. I watched him in Chelsea, and I felt he was a hard tackler. I love such number sixes, and I don't know why he wasn't being played as a six. He was being played slightly further forward, but I love such players as six. And actually, I've read a comment that he made that he actually loves playing that deep role and once in a while moving forward. I believe that he will actually do a very good job in that deep six role for United. I believe he'll do a good job. Then Yuri Tillemans is someone who actually you can use once in a while also in that six role. As much as he plays also what forward, he can also play forward. I 100% believe that those are actually going to be good additions because I believe Akarik is going to play 4-2-3-1. That's what I think. Maybe once in a while 4-3-3. I believe they are going to be very good additions. Then you add on there also Maino. You add on Maino there. They are going to be very good additions. Though I think their defense, and then one area that we have forgotten. You see, they brought in a keeper who could do the basics.
Are you
He
reading
could do
comments?
basics. I beg your pardon.
Are you reading comments?
I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not reading.
this guy,
I'm not-
this guy is trying to get on Arsenal fans. He's saying that, believe me, if David Raya started in the World Cup instead of Unai Simon, he would have been in Ballon d'Or convos. Coming from a Chelsea fan,
I agree.
I know
I
you're
agree.
trying to set Arsenal fans up, but come on, relax yourself.
No,
Relax
you know how
yourself,
social
guys.
media you know how social media works. I believe Arsenal fans would be pushing for it because of the trophies he has won and the kind of season he has had. They will definitely be pushing for it, which I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't blame them for doing such stuff. I wouldn't really blame them. But definitely there will be what he's saying is actually
Let's
right. I
ask
believe they will
you,
be
are you
pushing.
going to sign any attackers? Well, we have been linked to so many players. I don't know. It is up to
Mm,
Mikel. It is now 2 weeks away for the transfer
mm.
market to close down, and we really need those attackers, honestly. Oscar, continue.
Yeah, so for Manu, I think the two areas that they seem to probably with the goalkeeping area, they are comfortable with that kid right now.
Mm,
One thing, they moved from a very mistake prone, expensive goalkeeper to a keeper who came in cheap without high expectations, and then he started doing the basic, like the bare minimum. He knows how to do the bare minimum. What is expected of a keeper. When the cross comes in, it's a cross that is high enough for a keeper. He will get that ball.
yeah,
Easy things. So he will do those things. But the issue is going to come in that he is actually not a great keeper. He's an average keeper. You get
yeah,
now this season. That's why now you're going to start now asking yourself: is the problem the defense or the keeper is just bad? In my view, if you have a keeper who is average, just have a good defense. The keeper
yeah,
will actually look good. So for me, I think that on top of those additions, if Manu is going to add defenders, if they're going to bring in some new defenders, and actually
yeah.
I'm talking about defenders who are going to start, then that will be a good thing.
Do you think they are going to sign defenders really?
I don't know, but I'm looking at the scope because I feel that on the forward line, for this one season that they are transitioning, the forward line is sorted. The midfield, they have brought in some additions, which is a good thing. Maybe unless they are talking of maybe help forward for Bruno Fernandes. If they are talking of bringing in help, of which I don't think it's good because I think all those players who will play at the up front, any of them can actually take up that Fernandes role. Maybe not to the satisfaction of Fernandes or playing like Fernandes, but at least they can take up that 10 role. Even Yuri Tillemans can also be used as a makeshift 10 there. So
Well,
for me, I think the biggest issue right now is the defense.
No, they expect Yellow and Heaven to be their partnership, and
Heaven and
Costa is
let
still
me
up
hear.
and fine.
Okay, let's wait and see. You see, but you see, my issue is that don't have a shaky defense in front of an average, right? In front of an average keeper. At least have one that is good.
You see, yeah, so, different sets of fans have different opinions on their club, but
Mm.
so far, majority of United fans believe that they are good enough to compete for the league. Personally, I disagree. I don't think they have enough quality to compete. But as I said, majority of them believe they can compete. We will see. As long as they don't get a rude awakening, but I mean, you all know how your players flatter to deceive. When the season has just started, the likes of Hamad, they're always on top form. But in later stages, you're looking for performances, they don't deliver. And then it is up to Bruno to give you that magic. Well, we will
Someone
see.
is asking.
We will be there.
Someone is
If
asking
I'm, mm,
about Enzo Fernandez's deadline. I think it has not yet ended. Maybe an hour or so to the deadline.
yeah, UK time. So I,
UK
I, I
time 5
think it's
p.m.
still on.
Yeah. So yeah, but I think unlike Tottenham, which is now back to playing only domestic trophies, Man
Mm.
U now has what the European trophies also to play for. So that is a step up, meaning that unlike these things are playing after every 2 weeks or after every 1 month, it's not going to happen. They won't be playing after every
They,
4 days,
they are back
three
in the.
days.
I mean, this is their first time playing the UCL League format, not so.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, we will
So
be there.
that means that it's going to be, and this league format is something that you have to start competing early. It's not these things over here you pick up form after. You have to be
Exactly.
amassing points early. You have
Mm.
to amass points early. So I expect them actually to get the points early. I expect them to play well. The only thing is that whoever they will get in the next phase, that is where things will start getting tricky from. You know.
He's asking for how long is Saliba out? Saliba is out till November. Yeah,
Definitely need a replacement.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. And
And
honestly, for the time I've watched Christian Mosquera, he's not ready. He's a good talent, but now he's a liability. You can't trust him. And of course, Ben White. I like Ben White, honestly. He has been a good servant for the club, but he's done. He's done at top level. He's done at top
mm,
level. And then there is Julian Timber, who is also injury prone. So definitely Arsenal has to bring someone in. They have
don't you think they need to maybe a change of scenery might be his the saving grace for Ben White's career. Maybe he goes to
mm,
another team, then maybe things can revive from there or just remain like that. Then maybe bring in someone new.
let him go to Saudi, man, and make money. He's a Premier League winner now. Just go and make money in Saudi Arabia or America.
Mm. Mm,
Mm. Spurs have been having a great transfer window. Yeah, true. They have made some
mm.
decent signings, but Tottenham is Tottenham. You won't be surprised if they struggle this season.
Well,
There is
but
that. Hmm?
the fact that they are playing only domestic trophies, I'm thinking that maybe they might perform well. So let's just wait and see.
But you see, Oscar,
Mm.
I expected Spurs at least to keep their core. You know, if you're signing
Yeah.
Matthias Fernandez and Sandro Tonali, and then losing Jed Spence and Cuti Romero, I feel you've not really strengthened because Spence and Cuti Romero have been one of their best defenders. You can agree
Mm.
to disagree. And now they have lost them. So I don't feel that Savinho is going to improve them. Honestly, we have watched Savinho for how many seasons at City?
And they are also
Not one.
expecting to come in for Cody Gakpo.
Uh, Oh, okay, okay. That
So
would
yeah,
be strange. That would be strange.
yeah, but in my view, if Cody Gakpo is to leave for Liverpool, I would
Mm.
think. Like I said, since for Liverpool it's a transition season, just bring Mbaye. I don't know Mbaye. I
Right.
believe he's a winger, right?
Mm-hmm. But will PSG give you those two boys? Are they
No, you
willing
can
to
leave
spend
one.
two?
If you can stay with Bakola, but just bring Mbaye. Bring
But
Mbaye.
that Bakola deal has been really moving on for so long. You guys have to get the deal done.
You see, my issue with that deal is not just the player. It is the amount of money,
It's too much.
and it's too much. And on top of that, you're not addressing some of the other main areas. You're addressing an area that was addressed last season but
Mm.
didn't work out. Then again, you're trying to address it. Why don't you leave that area and then address this other pending area, which was what already having an issue? It's like you having a foundation problem, and then maybe you work on the foundation, and maybe you
Mm.
don't work on a particular corner very well, and maybe it is standing, but it's not really to your satisfaction. But there's other area which is already sinking. Are you first going to finish working on this one? And then why don't you stabilize the other side, then come and do the renovations this side? You know, the defense, the midfield is struggling. So first concentrate that side. Concentrate that side.
Why the hell are Inter Milan signing Jed Spence from Spurs? Don't they already have Dimarco? Dimarco is their first choice left back, so I don't know if they are signing Spence to play at
How
right
old
back
is
or left
Dimarco?
back.
Isn't Dimarco already a veteran now?
He just looks to be a veteran. He's 29. Surprisingly, he's just
Uh,
29. I don't know
okay.
if he's one of those guys that lied
But
about their age.
but
I
but
don't know.
but that is also depth. That is also for depth, maybe.
Yeah.
That's also for depth. So
Um. Away from being very transfer market. Of course, they tied down Vinny Jr. They were interested in Rodri. Unfortunately, they have now pulled out. They signed Diamandi. Liverpool were interested, PSG were interested, but he ended up landing at Real Madrid. Well, of course, they signed Cucurella and Konate. I don't know. For me, honestly, I'm not really convinced about the way Real Madrid has been doing business of recent. First of all, I wasn't happy about Mourinho coming back at Real Madrid. I wasn't happy. I feel it's going to be another short time spell.
mm,
But I don't know if it is me or other people, but I feel Mourinho is done at top level. He's done. But
okay.
well, I maybe uh, he just made Florentino Perez life easier through discussion and all that. But I feel for players like Brahim Diaz, Trent Alexander, Adagula, these guys are going to struggle for game time because I know exactly which type of players Jose Mourinho likes. So expect to see guys like Dumfries, Rudiger, of course Judy Bellingham. Those guys, the hard workers. These are the guys that are going to be guaranteed to start every game. By the way, that rumor about Trent Alexander probably coming back to Liverpool, how concrete was that? Eh?
Let's not discuss that one. Uh, I don't know. I don't know, but
Hey.
you see, that is social media talk, because it is one of the options that people would expect. But you see, the issue with Trent coming back,
Mm,
he went on a free. Bringing him back, his contract is expensive. You get, his contract is expensive, and if you're bringing him back on a loan deal, you're bringing
mm.
him back. Probably Madrid might say pay probably half of his salary. You get, and you're bringing him on for a short time. He's going to perform well and then go back. You get, it's like a lose-lose situation. I don't think it is right. Liverpool should not actually track back and go for him. It would have been easier if he had left on good terms. It would be
Mm,
easy because being a homeboy, a homebred, chap, they would be like, you know what? Come back. Let's have our boy. Let him at least revive his career. You get, that would be an option. But in the football terms and in terms of the aura and everything of the club, no, I don't think it's the right thing for Liverpool to go back to what to have him back. And the
mm,
direction that Liverpool is going to. This is a coach that expects everyone to press. This is a coach that expects his defenders to defend. You get, the fact is that the system that Trent thrives in is a system whereby you have to assist his weakness and allow him to shine in his what? His strength. You get?
yeah.
Yes, this coach, this current Liverpool coach can allow him to shine in his strength, but the problem is that is going to be at the expense of what? The club, the team, because there's no one coming to cover your weakness. You also expected to do what? To actually also press. You expected to, you get it? Stuff like that. These things of being absent-minded and Vini is coming behind to poke in a winning goal. Those things are not going to work. So I just wanted to say something about Real Madrid. You made a comment. You made a comment and talked about Mourinho coming back not being right. When you looked at the coaches that were available, because where Real Madrid was, we are tending to forget where Real Madrid was. Madrid was in a place whereby, because normally they are usually in a place where the coach actually has the dressing room. The coach commands the players. You get, he has a commanding presence for the players.
Mm,
But what coach was out there? Abeloa, who was there, was actually, the players were bigger than him. You get, he couldn't really make the right decisions, even however much he wanted to. You get, so
mm,
that is something to consider. So when you look at the coaches that were available, the coaches that would do, Ancelotti would have been the better option. But besides Ancelotti, which other coach were you seeing out there that was actually going? Mourinho wasn't brought because they are expecting miracles and expecting him to be. The main reason why Mourinho was brought back, in my estimation, and the way I look at Madrid, is because they are expecting some level of semblance, some level of calmness, some level of sense to be brought into the players to be able to know that we have to play for the team. The coach is going to tell us to do this. Coach says run 100 miles, you run. You get. Coach says you're not going to play. You can throw the tantrums you want, but he has said. You get. That's one of the things that I believe that he was brought for, and I believe it's going to be short unless he shocks us and he wins probably a treble. You get. Unless he shocks us and pulls
uh,
off, you know,
I don't think that he can. I don't think.
with Madrid, they are what? Their gauge is Champions League. Unless he shocks and he probably wins Champions League, that means
Mm,
they're going to give him more seasons. You get it? They're going to give him
yeah.
another season like that. That's the only thing. But right as we speak right now, that is the main reason I believe why Mourinho came in for the team. Now, talking of players like these other players, surprisingly, today in my as I was just doing something small on the phone and I happened to land on a Kaka what interview, and Kaka
Yo,
was talking
Mike
about his
guy,
time.
dance soft. See you, brother.
Yes,
Thanks for watching.
yeah. So Kaka was talking about his time in Real Madrid. And what you said exactly about Adagula, about those other players, those players who are about flair and about those things, it's the same thing that for him. What you are saying is like when you look at the style of the play of the coach and the players that had, you would see that players like Di Maria, Ozil, Ronaldo, they had to compete like for only two positions. You know, he said we were like about 5, 6 players competing for one like two positions almost. You get, and
Yeah.
the coach had his favorite. You get, so the fact that the coach had his favorite, because he was talking about him struggling from the fact that he was the best player in the world just a few months ago, and the fact that he was struggling and being looked at as one of the worst signings in the history of the club, it's really a big struggle for him. So what you're saying is actually, I believe, is true. Some of those players are really going to struggle. But the thing is that as long as Mourinho is producing results, Real Madrid won't care.
Well, first of all, he needs to address that because it's been
Mm.
suspect for so long, man.
Mm.
It makes so many mistakes. I feel Rudiger is now way past his best. Dean Huysen, he has struggled to settle in, and same applies to Trent Alexander. So one of his first priority has to be addressing the defensive area. He has to really fix it ASAP because if you're looking at competing at top level and maybe aiming to win the UCL, your defense has to be proper good. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of the forward line, um, I expect Diamandi to start. I mean, you can't sign for Madrid on such a big money and sit on the bench. So, what does that mean for players like Brahim Diaz and Adagula, who usually play on that right wing?
But you're also forgetting Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, okay, Rodrigo is still out injured, so for him, we'll see that later. But now these guys that are here, they are not really warranted to get game time after
Yeah.
Diamandi's arrival.
I believe I
Because we
believe
know
after
that Kylian Mbappe has to be their nine, and of course
I, I,
Vinny
I
Jr.
believe
has to be
after
the one starting on the left wing.
I believe after the end of this season,
Mm.
that is when those players will start now to gauge their careers and where they want their careers to go, because
I mean,
they are
man,
players.
this is the problem I have with clubs like Arsenal and Liverpool. They don't take advantage of the market. Now you see how unsettling it is for Adagula and Brahim Diaz. These are the type of deals you can make at a cheap price. But now
Mm,
no one is even mentioning them.
mm.
And
Yeah,
some
that's
random club
true.
will come and get Brahim Diaz at 45M. Boom. And then we'll be like, man, why did our club go for him? You know?
That's true. That's true.
Our clubs don't know really how to explore the market, man. Do you know that still now I still feel hungry that Kivicha, Kvaratskhelia went for 50M at PSG. Eh?
By the way, speaking of PSG, speaking of PSG, I believe that is one club that has learned from their mistakes over time,
Mm,
especially when from that season when they started winning the Champions League. I believe a lot changed. They started now investing in actually football, investing in this is what our need is. Right now, they have brought in Ferran Torres.
mm.
That is a very good buy. They got him at 50, but I can assure you, when Bakola is off, I mean, well, not yeah, even Bakola. When Bakola is not available, they have youngsters that are coming up. You get? They have youngsters who are
They
coming
have
up.
already signed this winger from Ajax. Is it Götze or something?
Uh-huh. And then Ferran Torres, I believe, will be like Dembele's replacement. You
Mm,
get?
mm,
I know he can score, and on top of that, the press is not going to disappear. He can actually also press. You get?
mm,
For 50 million. For 50 million. People are buying Gordon at 80 million. People are buying players at 100 million. Crazy prices. So when you get
mm.
Ferran Torres at 50 million, that is actually a good deal. I believe these guys have learned over time and they're actually making the right purchases.
Yeah.
Personally, personally, if they actually retain the trophy, I'm not going to be surprised.
No, for
I
God
can't be
forbid,
surprised.
God forbid, God forbid, man. That will be embarrassing, man.
Yeah, I
Third time
know.
in a row. Ay,
I
Jesus.
know. I know.
No, no, it will be embarrassing for the rest of us.
Mm.
Um, well, Barcelona. Um, Earlier on, when you had just started the show, I told you this is one club I struggled to know how do they make their business because apparently they are broke. We know that it's common knowledge, but they still make deals surprisingly. Well, uh, They are of course in talks to sign Rodri for Manchester City. I feel that will be a very good signing for them. Julian Alvarez is still very uh, far from getting done because Atletico don't want to sell, and on top of that, is very expensive. Even though Julian Alvarez is interested to join Barcelona, that's his dream club apparently. Um, where do you see Barcelona next
Yes.
season? Do you think they will retain the La Liga or go ahead to win the UCL after signing Rodri?
You had gone off a bit. I don't know if it was me or you.
Oh,
Yes, I
maybe
can.
it was pitch. Have you heard the
The,
question?
I don't know. My volume is a bit low. Can you
You
hear
can't hear?
me? You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Kindly repeat your question.
I'm saying, do you feel they can retain the La Liga and also go ahead to win the UCL after signing Rodri?
I believe they will be having a really good squad. I believe they will be really having a good squad. If they win the UCL, I've actually expected them to win the UCL, especially the times when probably they reach the semi-finals. I believe
Mm,
they've always had the squad to actually do it, and I believe if they reach any final, it will really be a shame if they don't win it, because I believe they
mm,
have the squad to do it.
mm,
Those guys are, I mean, yes, they feed into the Spanish national team, but man, for a club that was saying they are broke, how they come up with these youngsters, eh?
mm.
I mean, Kobasi, where did Kobasi come from? Like, seriously. Then you
Amasia.
see like, people like Lamine Yamal. I
Mm,
mean, at a moment when they are really in a desperate position, they
yeah.
bring these youngsters, and you're like, where did these players come from? You know?
Mm,
So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they win the Champions League. I would actually love to watch probably a semi-final or a final of PSG versus Barcelona.
Barcelona.
That would be a nice one.
Well, we are about to close down. I think we should round up with Community Shield predictions. So it will be playing tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. Community Shield will be played tomorrow. Arsenal versus Manchester City tomorrow. Yeah, give us your predictions. Who do you think will win it?
I expect a draw. I expect
Mm,
a draw, but in full time, I expect if it goes to penalties, I am expecting City to win.
mm.
If it goes to
So
penalties, yeah, I'm
your
expecting
overall
City to
winner
win.
will be City.
Yeah, I beg your
You
pardon.
expect you expect City to win the Shield, yeah?
I expect it needs to be a draw,
Mm,
but when we go to penalties, I expect City to win. The reason I'm expecting City to win is because I'm expecting Arsenal to retain the trophy. So winning Community Shield, people who win Community Shield struggle.
mm.
So yeah, but anyway, I'm expecting City to win.
Well, it is just a glorified friendly. If you win it, it is cool. If you don't win it, you don't care that much. But well, I'm going to back my team to win it. So I'm going to. Will that happen? I don't know. Well, people, thank you for watching us all the way from when we started. I think it's now 1 hour and a half. Let me see if we have a few comments here. If you want, you can have Liam Delap being generous. No, thank you. No, thank you. You can stay. You can stay with Liam Delap, please. Stay with your player. He's not good. I haven't had enough Chelsea players already. I want to sign any more Chelsea players. Honestly speaking, honestly, I've had enough of Chelsea players. Um, guys, thank you for watching. Dan Soft Gamers. Yes, that's my guy. Thank you for tuning in, man. Been a while since I last. Rio Daddy. Dandy. Thank you for watching in. Raymond Kagumba. Thank you for tuning in. Who else here? William Jara. Then there is Konzo. A lot of you have been tuning in, man. Thank you for watching in. I hope you've smashed the like button.
Mm.
Those who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. Um, well, unless you have anything else to say, we should be closing down. It's been a very entertaining show. A lot of people have tuned in after a long while, but we'll be back next
Mm.
week actually to preview the English Premier League, and also we can't wait to make our predictions. So make sure you don't miss next week's show on Friday, because we'll be making our bold season predictions. I hope to have more guys on the panel. I hope they will be free by then. So today it's been that all transfers and other news out there. Well, Oscar,
Mm.
yeah, you should say goodbye to the people.
Yeah, it's another new season coming up. Some of us support teams that are shaky at the moment, so we are not sure. We are not sure. We are not coming into the season with high anticipations and expecting really having high hopes. But God is in control, so we leave it in God's hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
but otherwise, I expect it to be a great season. I
yeah,
expect I expect to see a lot of drama. That is something I expected. Yeah, I really expected, especially the fact that Arsenal is in a place where they are the ones that have the veteran coach, and all these other teams have new coaches.
it's
It's going to
crazy.
be it's going to be drama. It's going to be serious drama. Yeah. So
Mm,
yeah. Otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Yeah.
mm,
Have a lovely evening.
yep. Thank you, everyone that has been watching us. Have a lovely evening, a good morning, and a good night, depending on where you're watching from. God bless you. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye.